What if I told you that just 300 men once stopped the largest army the ancient world had ever seen, long enough to change history? An empire so vast it seemed unstoppable, its shadow stretching from the east to the edge of the known world. But waiting for them here, 300 warriors who understood one thing better than any king or god: the terrain was their weapon. This isn't legend, it's geometry, discipline, and the science of holding the line against impossible odds. Welcome to Thermopylae, the narrow gate where courage met an empire, and strategy turned sacrifice into immortality. Most people think the Spartans simply fought and died bravely, but few understand how they held off the largest army the ancient world had ever seen. 7,000 Greeks stood against over 200,000 Persians. By every calculation, they were already dead. But Thermopylae wasn't chosen by chance. It was the narrowest gate in Greece, where numbers meant nothing and discipline meant survival. While Persia relied on overwhelming force, the Spartans relied on something rarer: control. Every man a cog in an unbreakable machine. This battle wasn't about muscle or myth. It was about geometry, patience, and the art of turning a pass into a fortress. In the next few minutes, you'll see how geography became a weapon and why one narrow pass was worth an entire kingdom. You'll understand how King Leonidas turned a hopeless mission into one of history's most brilliant delaying tactics. We'll break down how terrain, timing, and teamwork formed a perfect defense that defied logic. We'll uncover the fatal mistake that turned victory into legend and betrayal into immortality. And by the end, you'll see why this small stand still teaches modern armies how to hold the line when all seems lost. In 480 BC, the Persian king Xerxes marched west with an army so vast it made the earth tremble, a force meant to erase Greece itself. Ancient sources claimed millions. Modern historians estimate closer to 200,000, still an ocean of men, horses, and iron. Divided by politics, united by necessity, the Greek city-states sent what they could: 7,000 warriors led by King Leonidas of Sparta. They chose Thermopylae, the hot gates, a natural funnel barely wide enough for a chariot. Here, numbers would count for nothing. As the sun fell behind the cliffs, 7,000 men braced for the impossible, knowing the storm that would come with the dawn. Imagine a wall of shields blocking this pass bronze gleaming under the sun, every man knowing he could not retreat a single step. Leonidas understood that terrain could fight alongside men: every cliff, every rock turning a massive invasion into a crawl. Here, order defeated chaos. The Spartan phalanx, tight, disciplined, and unyielding, transformed the narrow ground into a weapon. Wave after wave of Persians poured in, yet only a few could fight at once, their numbers strangled by the very land they sought to conquer. At Thermopylae, nature itself became an ally. The sea at their backs, the cliffs at their sides, and the Spartans holding the line in between. The Persians began with their elite Medes, rushing forward in confidence, expecting the Spartans to break under sheer force. But the Spartans fought like a living machine, rotating ranks, resting men mid-battle, never breaking formation. The dead began to form walls of their own Persian bodies, stacking so high they blocked their comrades from advancing. From his throne, above the battlefield, Xerxes watched disbelief turn to fury, his empire halted by a handful of men. That night, the Persians sent in their immortals, the empire's finest. But in the narrow pass, even immortals bled. Frustrated by failure, Xerxes sought another way, one that wouldn't confront the Spartans head-on, but creep around them in the dark. A local Greek named Ephialtes revealed a hidden path through the mountains, an ancient goat trail that led behind the Greek lines. At dawn, elite Persian troops began their climb, unseen beneath the canopy, each step closing the trap around Leonidas. When Leonidas learned of the betrayal, it was too late. The Persians were already above them, descending through the mist. Knowing he was surrounded, he sent most of his allies away to live and chose to stay with the 300 who refused to retreat. At sunrise, Leonidas ordered his men forward. No more walls, no more retreat. The Spartans would meet the Persians head-on. Persians poured into the pass from every direction, their sheer numbers swallowing the cliffs like a rising tide. When their spears splintered, they fought with swords. When swords broke, they fought with their hands. Every moment bought time. From his throne above the battlefield, Xerxes witnessed not surrender, but defiance. Even surrounded, the Spartans refused to yield. When Leonidas fell, his men formed a wall around his body. They fought until the last heartbeat, and then there was only silence. Thermopylae had fallen, but the delay it bought would shape the war to come. Those 3 days gave the Greek navy time to regroup at Salamis, setting the stage for one of history's most decisive naval ambushes. Out of that sacrifice rose unity. Without Thermopylae, there might never have been a free Athens or the democracy that followed. Even Xerxes' own generals admitted against numbers. Courage is the best defense. So what did we learn from the 300 Harns? That courage, strategy, and unity can hold the line even against an empire. Subscribe and join us for the next battle that defied all logic.